Hi, how you doing? How's your day been? Having a good day? Yes? Well, great, because I'm about to ruin it. Sorry, you clicked on the video, you signed up for this. And now you have to stay. You have to sit here and be miserable with me. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. The place where you go when you have low self-esteem and want to punish yourself. And today's video is no exception. You see, you're all familiar with the transformed wife, I would assume. We know her, we wish the best for her in regards of health, and we hope she makes a speedy recovery in the illness that she's currently battling. But we don't agree with anything she stands for. Today I'm not going to be reacting to like a video of hers or her tweets specifically because that's been done, been there, done that, cried over that, whatever. But instead I want to focus more on the people that follow her. I want to look at her followers, look at their tweets, and kind of get an idea of the impact that her influence has on them. We talk about how dangerous her platform can be, and she uses it to tell women that they're inferior to men and to back up a lot of really toxic things. But we never dive into those specific effects. So buckle up, get some sparkling water because I can't drink yet. And gotta warn you, this might actually be worse. Because these people, they're not relevant in the media and they have no reason to filter themselves. So the bar is very low for this video. This might be even sadder than her tweets. Let's get into it, shall we? So first off, one of her followers retweeted this. Atheists know that God exists. They just suppress the truth and unrighteousness because they love their sin. Romans 1. Okay, that's not the worst thing someone could say, it's just false. I'm not an atheist. I was raised in a conservative Christian household. Well, my mom's conservative Christian and my dad's liberal and agnostic, but they're divorced and I live with my mom. So I was raised in that atmosphere, and I'm more of a progressive Christian now. And although my dad is agnostic, I never really knew any atheists growing up. So although my mom was very, very serious about religion and, leading us on the right path or whatever, my dad never really pressured us to be secular or religious. I mean, I talk to him about religion sometimes, and he offers to take me to church sometimes because he knows that I like that, so, he'll offer to take me to a church, but he never really, he never forces anything onto us. But although I didn't know any atheists, I sure saw them on screen. The Christian movies. And full offense to Christian movie writers, y'all make atheists look like the worst people on the face of the earth. Honestly. They're always portrayed as the most greedy, miserable people in the world until they inevitably turn their life to God. Just teaching children that atheists are terrible people. From what I have seen, they're either the money-obsessed businessman, the terrible husband, or both. They often still believe in God, but they hate him because of something bad that happened to them when they were younger. Or their entire personality is being an atheist, and they just live to kill, crush, and destroy organized religion. I know that a lot of people do devote, parts of their life to criticizing aspects of different religions. But these movies make it seem like atheists are literally the personal staff for Satan, trying to lead people astray or something. And they don't even believe in Satan. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people that identify as atheists, partly due to past bad experiences with religion. I'm sure that happens quite often. People are raised in cult-like atmospheres, or they have trauma from religion and it kind of leads them away from that. Or maybe they just don't believe in it. But can we stop saying that atheists are just stubborn or something? They're just stubborn and they don't want to follow the Bible. Just respect everyone's beliefs as long as their beliefs aren't negatively impacting anybody else. This one says, a matter came up today in our household that it really upset me. My husband gently, but firmly, told me how I should deal with it. I followed his instructions and things turned out well. Tonight he held my face and slowly planted it with little kisses. Obedience has its rewards. Why does that kind of sound like the intro of an SFW text post or something? He holds your face and slowly plants it with little kisses. My Instagram feed is whack, don't judge me. I'm glad that his plan worked out, but I hate the way she said, obedience. He showed me physical affection because I obeyed him. Because, if I had, voiced my opinion or, God forbid, didn't follow his orders, then no kisses for me that night. But I was obedient, so it's all good. What does she mean? Were they discussing something? And, he was you think your opinion matters here? Sit down. I don't know, I mean, it's great that he came up with a solution. I just hate that obedience has its rewards line. She's a child who just learned a good lesson from her parent or something. Oh, and there are some replies. Needed this today, had a little incident last night, and man, did I want to pout. Hubby made a decision and I was not happy with it at all. But I'll do as he asks because it's more important to respect him than have my own way. Thanks for sharing. Wait, so you're not going to discuss your feelings with your husband? You're just going to bottle up your emotions for the sake of him feeling like a leader? What if he's wrong? What if you made a bad choice? You're supposed to make decisions together. This is why you're called partners. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being a leader. But leaders are supposed to listen to other people's opinions as well. Leadership doesn't mean dictatorship. It's concerning that she felt like she just had to shut up and obey him because he's her husband. You shouldn't feel that way. Oh my gosh, look at this comment. Yes, it does. Always obey your husband. Regardless of the outcome, you'll be happy inside that you obeyed him. Disobeying has punishments as well. This was such a sweet story that you just told. Well, if that isn't just the creepiest thing I've ever heard. Disobeying has its punishments as well. My gosh, he's your husband, not your parent. And how he says regardless of the outcome. It reminds me of this pastor at my old church who was talking about like how women need to submit to their husbands. And he was like, oh, even if your husband makes a bad decision and you end up like on the streets, dirt poor because of it, you still have to listen to him because that's what being a submissive wife means. Y'all are toxic. But looking at this dude's followers, he doesn't seem to value submission in a relationship for religious reasons, if you get what I'm saying. He follows some accounts I don't think this godly Christian housewife would approve of. Not judging, I genuinely don't care. But it's funny because these women are talking about like being conservative, traditional wife, and like obeying your husband. And he's agreeing with them. But not because of religion, he's just really kinky. Like, dude, you stumbled upon the wrong territory, you need to retreat. A woman who follows a transformed wife retweeted this. Ladies, do you want to save the world? Learn how to inspire the men in your life by your actions. Feminine gratitude and receptiveness inspires the masculine leadership we need to save the world. That's right, ladies. You want to get something done? Don't do it yourself. Instead, inspire other people to take care of you. You can inspire other people to be leaders, but you can't be leaders yourself. Don't worry, men know exactly what you need. I mean, when have women ever had to fight for their rights? Never. Men always take their needs into consideration. Always. Ugh, what is this? Another woman who follows a transformed wife retweeted this. Femininity is a woman bending down to the level of a crying child and gently asking, what's wrong? I mean, how is that femininity? Isn't that just being a concerned adult and helping a child? Oh no, of course not. Because men don't care about children. Only women have nurturing hearts and emotions. You see, if a man were to see a crying child, he wouldn't comfort them. As a matter of fact, he would just walk right up and shove that child onto the ground.
What would you do if there was a child right in front of you?
You know, men. What are you gonna do? And if you do happen to see a child and you don't immediately kick them or body slam them on the ground or something of that nature, then you're a woman. You're officially a woman. Just so you know. Gosh, this is ridiculous. Oh gosh, no. Look who I just found in Lori's comment section. I think that one speaks for itself. A woman who follows Lori retweeted this. Women are easily misled by their feelings, emotional, and overwhelmed not as logical as men. This is by God's design and the also reason that women don't belong in office, but in the home. Men are created to be leaders in the home, church, and in society. Oh, of course, because men are just purely logical and never act on their emotions. I mean, just look at the way our male leaders conduct themselves.
Well, it's hard to get any word in with this clown.
Always so mature and rational.
Will you shut up, man? Listen,
Not even just in the government, but in everyday life. I mean, have you ever seen a man get in a physical fight out of anger? I bet not. Or men getting angry and abusing their partners or their families? Never happens. Or what about when they play video games? Have you ever seen a guy get mad when he loses a game? Of course not, because men are always rational. They're just living, breathing logic. No emotions whatsoever. Also, you want to tell me that men are just inherently more intelligent than me? Honey, I spend every day of my life around teenage boys at school. I don't really associate with them, but I sure hear them. And, I don't see your point. So Lori tweeted something about how we don't need to teach teenagers safe sex, and instead we need to teach them abstinence. Because, you know, coming up to a bunch of high schoolers and saying don't have sex really works. But someone replied to her and said this. From my experiences as a teenager, young adults, and human in general, this doesn't work. This leads to sexual repression and pent-up frustration that manifests into agitation. Safe sex and experimentation are important, as well as masturbation can help. Cool, A-OK comment. I can relate. Purity culture screwed me up for a while. Wasn't fun. Anyways, somebody who follows Lori and I often see in her comment section replied with this. Agreed. It doesn't work for the many who cannot love Christ, for they have not been drawn, and they defy sovereign will of God. God designed sex and created it to be between one man and one woman within marriage. Anything else is an aberration. Wow, the shade. That was so rude. What the heck? Like the way she just said, yeah, it doesn't work for those who don't love Christ. Like what? What a jerk. Imagine if she worked at like a church or something and some teenager was like struggling with sexual sin and whatnot and like came up to her and like told her about like how they're struggling with temptation, and that's how she responded. Yeah, well, it wouldn't be so hard to keep in your pants if you were a real Christian. So passive aggressive. She strikes me as one of those moms who gets like overly involved in school activities just so she can like gossip about the other moms. That's her energy and she does not pass the vibe check. So that is all we're going to be reacting to today. We talked about Lori a lot, so I thought it'd be interesting to dive a little bit deeper into her followers and see what's up with them. I mean, a lot of them were probably already like her when they found her like account and they just identified with her, and maybe she just like fueled that in them. But I just wanted to see like how she could be impacting them. I was just curious. Let me know if you guys want me to do more of this in the future, and I will see you guys next time. Stay safe, y'all.